Banana.
See that? I need the subtitle for that. Come on.
Oh my god.
Will.
Okay, just a second. Can we hear this?
Yeah, the subtitles are a little bit. Yes.
We could also hear you eating a banana, so you know there's that.
Sorry about that.
Subtitles are a little resource intensive, apparently.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have a problem at all. Must be Greg.
Okay, Dix, you ready? Would somebody like to just quickly check the that we've went live there?
We are live.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, but it says yap.
Yep.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are you eating? Of all the things. Oh, you're eating a banana. That's right. That's right.
I took a banana in the tail.
Oh, he was freaking
You
serious.
eating a dick? What?
Yeah.
So are we live?
We are live, yep.
She said that.
Oh, I hear an echo.
Oh fuck! I can't multitask.
That's okay.
Alrighty doody. I'm going to. Everybody's on. Hopefully somebody can monitor the chats, and I'm going to do intro music. Right about now.
Look at him go. Shit.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overcooked Connection podcast.
That is not a good sign.
Not at all.
Okay, so what's going on?
I don't know.
We don't know.
Why?
The audio keeps muting on you.
Oh, I get it.
Try again.
So hold on a second. I have to. That's what Mark told me. I have to turn myself down because if I mute me on Skype, that mutes the audio stream.
Right.
So if I hit this and turn this down.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all are listening to the Overseas Connection podcast.
Shut up and sit down.
Here we go!
Would you kindly?
I think we're just getting started.
Medic! I'm a witcher.
I think this is more than you can handle.
He sits on his ass all day.
Let's do this.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to episode 504. I was going to say 405. Dyslexia is upon me. December 2nd, 2018. I am your host today, Greg DeLacy, gamer tag OC_Murphy's Law on Twitter. Just plain old Murphy's Law on Xbox Live. And I don't know if I'll ever get a PlayStation again, so don't worry about that for now. Hey, you can be thankful that we don't have to worry about having Mark hosting us today. We've got Mr. Robin Tate manning the discs behind the scene. Thanks, Robin, for doing all the hard work.
Hello there. How you doing? Yeah, hard work.
Good.
On that. Yeah, we're here. It's there, and there's 5 people on the screen, and Filthy's just doing weird stuff, and dogs are barking, and men are sleeping with dogs, and the wheels are falling off
Cats
the
and
wagon.
dogs
already.
living together. Yeah. It's mass hysteria.
I'm a little shocked.
Dear. There you go. Yeah, nice. So,
yep.
I don't know where.
Not a problem at all. Everything is running just as according as planned, right?
No, because Phil has just fallen off the call, and
we try to ignore these things, Robin. Just talk through it. Just
and everybody's
drive through the smoke.
Stuff. So let's hope when Phil comes back in, we can.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, Phil.
Yeah.
That is
just
Phil
saying.
Olsen on the podcast, tuning in from Mars. Phil, how are you, Phil? Can you let us know what the atmosphere is like there? It looks rather blue.
It's quite hot. Yes, surprisingly, it's not red. It's very blue and very sudden.
You know, the whole blue screen of death thing, by the way, because that is kind of what Phil has been going through right now. You have to laugh a little bit because you'd think that should be red, right? Just disaster, bad things are happening, red. But they try to make it pleasant, giving you a blue screen.
It's not a wall of text now either. A wall of text that you can't understand. It's now, yes, we have a problem. Restarting.
That's what you get for playing with the subtitles.
Pretty pretty much.
Yeah, I think that's probably it.
Yeah. For those listening, if you are using Skype, don't turn on the feature for subtitles. Apparently, it's a bit resource intensive and does bad things to your Skype.
It's killed your new camera.
Yeah, it's killed your camera.
It's killed your new camera.
New camera as well.
Well, regardless, Phil, we're happy to have you on. Maybe at some point we'll be able to get that camera back resuscitated. Maybe we'll give it some horse tonic and revive it magically. Also on the podcast today, we have Batgirl, Kim Woods.
Hi.
Hi.
I brought alcohol in case we need it. So yes, that's me. I'm GamerGirl27. That's Twitter.
Cheers,
that's
Kim.
Xbox. Hey,
Yes.
nice. So come look me up. We'll talk about our policy. Anyway.
And careful what you say to Kim. Just
That's right.
record, yeah, we there are things that are above and beyond the Call of Duty, to use a video game term. So yeah, just keep it pleasant, please. As well for Nicole Radowski on the podcast, looking just absolutely amazed at what we're talking about. Your face right there was like, what the fuck?
Really? Are they really mentioning this?
I don't know how to mute the new mic, and I accidentally muted Phil, and I don't know how to unmute him.
Oh no!
No one can unmute. No one can mute me, Nicole.
Oh, good. Yes, because you're talking over the fact that it says mute.
That was me muting. So I was saying that I was muting.
Yes, Phil muted himself.
Okay, because it was like, I just hit the mute button for myself, wondering if it was going to work, and then all of a sudden, it says he's muted, and something else was coming up, and I'm like, what the hell did I do? I didn't touch the subtitles.
If you manage to do that, Nicole, I think my wife would be very happy.
Yeah, man, if there's
I'll
a
let her
magic
know.
mute button, let me tell you, I would go around mute most of the day. All right. Look, if you're tuning into this podcast for your first time, I'm sure you're thinking, how in the hell have they done 500 plus
What
podcasts?
a fucking disaster.
But no, we keep trudging along. You can listen to us every week, Sundays, 9 p.m. in the UK, 1 p.m. on the West Coast, 4 p.m. on the East Coast, 3 p.m. Central. Can't forget those Central people. And you can watch us live, twitch.tv/OC podcast, mixer.com/OC podcast, and youtube.com/OC podcast, all conveniently labeled to make it easy for you. You can also listen to us via tape, Memorex. Usually the next day, you'll find the audio feed up. So tune in through iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you get your audio podcast from, and you should be able to sign up and subscribe and listen to us. So that's kind of the basics. I do believe we have a couple new followers. We got a new Podbean follower, Tharding01. So thank you for that. I'm assuming that might be Tom Harding.
I was gonna say, isn't that T Harding? I mean, not Tharding, but whatever. Okay.
And apparently nobody got busy to have kids this past week, so nobody's having birthdays right now, which means everybody was holding off and making sure that they didn't deliver before Christmas. So cheers to that. Let's dive into some story time.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I'm just sitting here trying to work out bits and pieces of how to get this tidied up.
It's okay.
It's a well-oiled machine, let me tell you. 500 episodes of pure perfection.
Let's try. We got this down pat.
All right, let's talk about life. Kim.
Yes.
Seems like you had all kinds of crazy things happening.
Well, I thought at first it was the same shit, different week, but no, it actually isn't. I bought a Christmas tree, which is not a real big momentous news, other than my old Christmas tree used to shed like a cat, and I got tired of vacuuming every day, so I decided to splurge with the Black Friday sales and buy us a new Christmas tree. And Christmas shopping, I've about got it done, believe it or not. We're like, what?
Wait, no, I've got questions. You can't just skip past the shedding Christmas tree. First of all, if it's a live Christmas tree, you're kind of supposed to get rid of that like within a few weeks of Christmas being done.
Yeah, well, I didn't think I'd have to explain that part, but all right.
Well, you did because you said you bought a new one, implying like you've held on to the old one.
Well, I did because it's fake. It's not a real tree.
Okay.
We don't do the real tree around here because I'm lazy and And so anyway, about the first fake tree, I've had it for a while, and I put it up last year, and like I said, every damn day I had to vacuum because the fake needles would fall off. Apparently, maybe that's supposed to happen, so that way it acts like a real tree. I don't know, but
no, that is not supposed to happen. That is definitely not part of the fake tree thing.
Yeah,
in fact, it's the polar opposite of that, Kim. It's not supposed to shed at all. So
well, that's what I kind of thought. So I'm like, it's time to get a new tree. So I got a new tree, and it showed up yesterday. And believe it or not, for only being 2 days into December, my Christmas shopping is just about done.
Wow.
So there was no screwing around. And because Robin kept bragging about it and drinking it, I bought me a Christmas present and got me some feckin' whiskey, and it's pretty good shit. Let me tell you. So had to
so by the end of this podcast, it will be under the table.
Yeah. I had to get it from San Diego, believe it or not. I had to order it from San Diego and get it sent here. Yeah, because nobody else around here had it or wouldn't be able to get it. So I had to go online and get it.
See when you're under the table.
So here's a funny thing. So you had it shipped to you.
Mm-hmm.
How about? I mean, did you have to go like ground? I'm assuming you couldn't ship it through air. I don't know.
I don't know.
I asked this because we have been searching for there's a beer called Honey Brown Beer.
Mm-hmm.
It's made out on the East Coast, and the distribution stops basically in Arizona. It no longer is being distributed in California.
Mm-hmm.
My wife loves the beer.
Mm-hmm.
We, for the life of us, cannot find a distributor or a total beer and wine, anything like that will ship it out to us. They say, but they can't ship it across state lines. So I'm trying to figure out how you got whiskey shipped to you. Yet the beer apparently is, next to terrorism, and they can't go across state lines.
Well,
that doesn't make any sense.
Shipping Coors beer over state lines is bootlegging. You need to get yourself the Bandit.
There you go.
Okay,
I do.
Here's the deal. Depending on the percentage of alcohol, and depending on what your state laws are, only certain things can be shipped across state line. Where I live, you can ship fuck all.
Got it.
No wine, no beer, no nothing. It's a bunch of Bible pumping fools that think that you can buy it at the liquor store, but God forbid you ship it across the state line. And it doesn't matter if it's like 0.5% alcohol here or 10% or 100 or whatever. It does not matter. So there may be a proof issue and there may be a content issue.
It might be, that might be an Arizona issue then. Yeah. Because I was in Arizona when I found it and they were like, nope, sorry, I can't ship it. And I'm like, well, I'm not trying to take this on the plane. So, okay. Mm-hmm.
So who was it?
Also, I found shipping alcohol to England rather expensive. So Robin did not get wine from me.
I get a massive bill when it comes to your package has arrived. You have to pay £400 to get it out of the post office.
So that's another crazy thing. So again, we're just kind of like dive into the shipping thing. So I did not know. So obviously we have to pay shipping fees to ship things across the pond. Well, apparently they get double dipped by their taxes. They have to pay taxes to get it out of shipping.
Yep.
Yes.
Unless you you have to write sample on it or no value or stuff like that there on it. So.
Gift.
Right.
Hey,
so
Robin,
basically,
Sarah said you were muted. Sorry.
Robin, have you
she
unmuted
sent
yourself? Turn your volumes up,
minutes.
Robin. Turn your volume up.
Damn it.
Damn it, Jim.
Okay. All right. Don't know.
Remember how you turned your volume down when you played the music?
Hello. I'm up.
Yep, there you go. I mean, we can still hear you. Hopefully, Sarah can hear you.
Yeah. Hello, Sarah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Don't know why.
Again, Sarah, thank you for the QA check. We really do. Yeah, we're going to have to remember you come Christmas time. It won't be a lump of coal, we promise.
Send her new dog food.
He can hear me, but
she just got a new dog.
Mark can hear me, but I'm left channel only, and I don't know how to sort that out. So maybe Mark can help me.
Well, Mark. Yep. Just listen with your good ear, Mark. He only has one. He told me.
I'm one
Lord have mercy. I'm going to kill some teenagers.
Oh, no.
Sweet.
I've seen that film.
This podcast, it doesn't get any better than this, folks. I'm just saying.
It does. Sorry. Bear with us. We love you all, but shit happens. And shit.
Indeed.
No, this is priceless. This is comedy gold. Yeah.
So Sarah could always hear you. It's just she had the right earbud in.
About the only thing that would go better right now is if we heard like a bark, 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 yelp.
Look at that.
All right. So, Kim, enjoy the feckin' whiskey. That is fantastic. Phil.
Oh my God.
Let's.
Jeez.
Let's.
Oh my God.
Now, is that the kids or the dog?
Maybe a little both. She figured out how to mute herself. This is the first good thing.
So there's that.
Everybody, we do eventually come around and get it all together. Phil,
yes,
Mr. Cameraless, let's talk about PC gaming and how much you are enjoying Windows.
Yeah, so I've bought myself a my Mac was running out, so I'd had to stick the graphics card in the oven once already to get it to work, which is a thing. You actually stick your graphics card in the oven for 10 minutes at 180 degrees. So I had to do that, and it's not going to last much longer. So I thought, Black Friday sales, I'll get myself a new laptop. And I can't afford a MacBook. I'd love to get a very powerful MacBook for video editing. So I thought, no, I'll get myself a Dell XPS 15, which, according to all the reviews, is fantastic. I'm just trying to get used to Windows again. So the only Windows exposure I've had has been with work laptops, and those have been locked down. So, but I have been doing some PC gaming, which is great, on a 4K monitor, which I eventually got to work. And now my camera's just died. It's a new camera.
Yeah, are you using it right now? Yeah, you are, yeah.
Using what, the camera?
No, the whole laptop and camera, yeah. Because
I'm using the camera.
Oh, right, okay, not the laptop, right, okay.
I'm using the laptop.
So I was going to ask you to send it back to the shop.
Robin helping nobody. So Phil, real quickly,
I'm drinking straight from the wine bottle here.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at this point in time. What's actually quite fitting though is the icon we have for your Skype screen is a P, and it looks. I'm pretty sure it's a parenthesis, but it looks like just a weak C. So like for PC. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
It's very weak. PC.
Yes.
So aside from that, been playing with that, and also we did a little bit of OCD&D yesterday.
We did indeed. Yeah, things to look forward to, folks. We're like the 12 days of Christmas. Just not 12 days. But you're going to get something from us outside the ordinary. So yeah, the next episode.
Syphilis or what?
I was going to say
it's not an
syphilis,
which might happen. You never know in the D&D session. Yes.
I'll tell you what. If Kim keeps mucking around like she does, I think a character may be contracting syphilis at this rate.
She's not.
Yes.
Really,
That's what I
need some magical antibiotics.
Yeah. By the way, we anticipate midweek. Is that the?
Yes. If I can keep this damn laptop working long enough, we're going to be releasing Wednesday. So Mark's done the video, and I'll be doing the audio.
Outstanding.
So jealous.
Outstanding, Marines. Outstanding.
Oh yes.
Snooty elf.
All right.
All the time that you have, it's fantastic. I wish I could have some fantastic free time.
Oh, you know what? Robin, look, mister, I'm buying everything under the sun to create the ultimate man cave. Right. None of us feel sorry for you.
Yeah, no, tell you what, you wouldn't have felt sorry for me this morning at all when I, beginning of the month, pay the credit card bills.
Do you let Judith see the credit card bills, or do you just hide those?
No. We went through it because I at the beginning of each month, I do a little report. That's how much is not bank. That's how much is not bank. That's how much is in savings. Right. That's the credit card bill. This is how much I've paid. Bump. We're back to zero. Yeah, that was. Yeah, do you remember all that money we made last month? Yeah, it just paid the bills. So yeah, that was.
I know what that's like.
Yeah, but well, no, we're okay. But yeah, so I mean, because I did go on a bit of a spending spree. I've got Bert, So Bert and I have been loved up for the last 2 weeks now. Bert is the name of
for the record, Bert like as in Bert and Ernie, or Bert as in Bert Reynolds?
Bert,
we're not sure.
Bert as in Land Rover. So my old Land Rover I now have, and Bert and I have had the trailer on. We've been off to the dump. I bought a desk for Charlie. Charlie's birthday's in a couple of weeks, and he wanted a new big desk. So like mine one here. So Gumtree, Craigslist one, perfect. But I had to drive about 20 miles to go and get it. Trail on the back. It was great. So yeah, we got a Jeep. I ordered a Barber jacket. Yeah, so that's sort of countryman's wax jacket to go with the Jeep.
Next to bigger chest.
You just need the flat cap.
Yeah, pretty much.
Flat cap.
I've been a bit while, so I had to pay the man this morning and pay the bills. Now, I did give, the last time I was on 2 weeks ago, I did give Mike Chin a bit of shit about my nice little retro arcade box. The SNES with the what do you call it? Raspberry Pi Retro Pi arcade inside it, and it arrived the next day. Arrived on the Monday.
You gotta apply some public pressure to these you know.
And it is brilliant. It's an awesome piece of kit. I already have one of these, which I actually won in the auction from him last year, but it was just an SNES with the standards, the standard 30 games in it. But this one here has hundreds and hundreds of games inside it. Games from the arcades, PlayStation 1, basic PC games, just tons and tons of, Sega, NES, loads and loads and loads. But it also comes with this fantastic little Bluetooth controller, which just looks like a sort of a SNES controller, but it's Bluetooth, and it's tied into this as well. And it's all done in, they've taken the guts out of the shell of this mini SNES, put the RetroPie inside it. It's HDMI, it's Bluetooth, it's class. So I've been having lots of fun with that.
I think you should throw out all your other computers and just use that.
do you know what? It's yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been it's been a hectic couple of weeks. Had not a lot of time for gaming. Got a bit in, but it's just it's like into that time of year again, and there's a bloody difference with us. See, with the difference between going from 5 kids to 6 kids doesn't seem like a big thing, but it is.
Yeah,
I think
especially when one of those kids happens to be like not even a year old.
Yeah,
and the other one might as well be,
Right.
Yeah. So so my free time is very much curtailed. But Kira, what do you do? Sure, we're having good fun. Okay, you chat away. You chat on. Well, tell me what you want to do next, and I'm going to try and fix
this. Chat away.
This audio.
That's what we do.
Thing. So,
all right, you audio level away. We're going to talk to Nicole now. Nicole, let's talk about Thanksgiving. We can share Thanksgiving stories if we really need to, but I think most importantly, we want to hear about Black Friday. I heard you got into several fistfights.
Yeah, no, that was last week's show, dude. I didn't update the notes.
Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that very kindly. So now I look like an asshole.
You're quite welcome. It's my, my pleasure. Always.
Your gift to me. I appreciate that.
It keeps on giving.
Right now, though, I have a house full of teenagers that I'm pretty close to going to commit murder. Just pretty close.
Yeah.
Because I've got dogs. The dog doesn't like the boy at all.
Okay.
Already bit him. And
wait. Which the boy that's over playing with your son or your son?
Visiting my daughter.
I said the dog can sense evil. I'm just saying.
I'm guessing you're not exactly trying to curtail the biting of the boy. Let it happen naturally.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
Sounds like
just doing what a dog does, right?
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
No, Michaela did kind of instigate it a little bit. She thinks it's funny to get the dog all excited by saying, "Oh, he's hitting me, ow, ow, ow," because she does that with her brother all the time. So her brother's been bit like I don't know how many times, but they instigate it. And so this dog is not very appreciative of boys. And plus, you guys know that this is a rescue dog, and the dog was abused, and we're assuming it was by boys because she has never liked boys. But, yeah, so she wasn't helping the situation, and I'm probably going to throttle her.
Okay.
Probably.
All right.
Seems like a
Do what you need to do.
decent
We will conveniently edit out that last part in case Child Services ever has to question us.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we're here for you. All right, I guess that leaves me. Oh wait,
Yes.
Robin. Real quickly.
Mhm.
Never mind. Do you have your audio levels figured out? That's the question.
Sorry? Do I have my levels?
That would be a no.
No, I'm still on. I'm only got one ear. I've only got a left ear working, and I don't know why. Mark's suggesting cables and stuff, but the cables are the same as they always were, so I haven't a clue.
So is it just you that's appearing in one ear? Because that's like a magic trick, if you ask me.
Because I can hear you in both.
Yeah. So, I mean, actually, here's the deal. Everybody listening to the podcast right now, if you're only hearing Robin in one ear, we suggest you go to your doctor and get your ears checked because clearly it's you, not us. Because we can all hear Robin fine.
Yeah, it's never us.
Never us.
It's weird.
Never us.
No, I see it on OBS that there is only one line going up, so, and I don't know what the crack is with that. I will cut this piece out, but
That's code word for Robin cannot care at this point. He's just happy we have audio and video up in a reasonable fashion.
I do care.
And Robin, I don't mean this in a mean way. I really do appreciate you running the back end.
Hey, do you know what? Do you know we were fine. I'm a little bit slow cutting. Fucking hell. I love you, Phil, but fuck you.
Why? What have I done now?
I've spent the last fucking 15 minutes recutting those fucking video shots on 2 separate pages, and now you've switched your fucking camera back on, and I'm fucked.
So that's yeah.
Well, at least now Phil is Phil and not me. You know.
I know. But now we have the upward shot of Phil, which is interesting. So we're
this is a great thing about this laptop. The camera's actually on the keyboard. I mean,
who the fuck thought of that idea?
Phil, get some books. Mine is very similar, but it is on a pile of books. Otherwise, y'all be staring at my breastises. And we're not doing that.
So Nicole, remove the books. Phil, add the books. Phil, also, thank you for trimming your nose hairs.
I'm glad you're here with your camera, Phil.
Yes, we are glad you are here.
That isn't the camera I want working, but never mind.
Hey, you look fantastic. Doesn't matter.
Carry on.
Here's the thing. New York City. I've seen it a lot lately. So last Sunday I was not on the podcast because I was getting ready to go out to New York City for a meeting, a very quick turnaround meeting that was kind of thrown at me a little bit last minute. Wasn't anticipating needing to go out to New York because I also was flying back out to New York later the week. So I flew out to New York Sunday night, came back Tuesday, which that's a different story that I'll tell you in a moment. And then I turned back around and flew back out to New York on Thursday night and flew back Friday night. Of course, one would think, why not just stay the whole week, Greg? And that's a really good question.
Yep.
Probably in hindsight now, yes, I would have opted for that. But originally, this last minute meeting got thrown out at me. So I just was doing a 1-day trip. I flew out on a red eye. I had my meeting, went perfectly fine. I got back to the airport, plenty of time. I was going to fly back Monday night. Everything was fine. Get to the airport, and my flight changes gates. Like, okay, it's fine. Now, mind you, I'm at LaGuardia Airport, which right now is a pit of building and despair because the only working sections of LaGuardia Airport are like airport sections from like 1975. So it feels very old and antiquated. There's no real good restaurants. The ceilings are like 6 feet tall. I mean, it's bizarre. So I'm in LaGuardia. My gate's starting to move. It moves again. Moves a third time. I'm like, okay, this is not a good sign. And then I start noticing up on the board all the flights that are having connections through Chicago or going to Chicago are getting canceled. And of course, where's my flight going? Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So it comes time for the flight. They're like, we're just waiting for the plane to come from the hangar. As soon as it gets here and the crew gets here, we're going to board you guys up and we're going to go. So plane shows up. They start boarding us. We get onto the plane. And I immediately fall asleep because I'm freaking exhausted. About 45 minutes later, still sitting in the plane at the gate. And they make an announcement. They say, to any passengers wanting to leave the plane, you can leave the plane if you would like, but we will not hold your seat. Phil, you just stuck your finger in my eye. We will not hold your seat. You will forfeit your seat, and that will be given to somebody else. So it's like a backhanded threat of saying you can't get off the plane. So, of course, nobody's leaving the plane, but we're all wondering why we haven't left yet. And then 20 minutes later, we're sorry to announce we have to deboard the plane. We don't have a crew. So why they boarded us in the first place, I don't know. But they deboard the whole plane, and then they tell us that the crew never showed up, so they're having to cancel the flight, and that they were going to make they were going to give people rooms, get people rooms at a hotel. Then 15 minutes or so later, because this was not just crew related but weather related, we cannot give you a room. You'll have to find your own lodging, but there will be no flights coming out of LaGuardia to Chicago until the next morning at 8 a.m. The good news for me was I was thinking, and I had already gotten the rebooking line. I was talking with their customer service to rebook a flight. And I'm like, look, I don't have to go through Chicago. And I pretty much figured Chicago was going to be a problem come tomorrow as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, are there any other flights that I can go through a different airport? You know, I flew in through Charlotte. I'll go back through Charlotte. I don't care. So the bad news was, because by the time I got off the plane and had to rebook, all the flights going out that would have made it to Sacramento, where I live, in time were already done. They had already left. So the best I can do is get you out in the morning, leaving at 6:30 a.m. to Phoenix, but you're going to go through JFK. So I then had to find a hotel close to JFK, leave LaGuardia Airport to go to JFK Airport, slept the night at that hotel, got up the next morning, got on the plane.
Please
Needless to
tell
say,
me
got home.
you shared a room with John Candy's ghost.
I did.
And those weren't pillows.
They were not pillows. Absolutely not. But yeah, needless to say, it was in a bit of an ordeal. And then, fortunately, the flight back out to New York actually went very smoothly. And I had a very nice time for that flight, because I actually got to talk and present we had a presentation my work was doing, co-sponsoring with another group, and we were at the Time Warner building in New York City, which overlooks Central Park. It is a gorgeous building. We were up, I think, like the 10th or 12th floor or something like that, but we just had this picturesque view. So that at least made up for it. And of course, the presentation went very well, so I was very pleased. But that means I didn't get a lot of gaming in. So that was the one downfall, because I was doing a lot of traveling, and I slept a ton. But I did get a lot of podcasts and audiobooks in, because there's also there's no better words to hear when you're on your long leg of your connecting flight, the 4+ hour portion of your flight, to hear, we're sorry, but our plane does not have Wi-Fi for this flight.
Wow.
Oh.
So yeah. Anyway. That was me. Let's talk video games, Robin.
Just one second. What audiobooks? Because I got a couple of new ones, and they're pretty cool. So
I'm still working through Arisen. Through Arisen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there was that one that I recommended, which was on good deal there.
Right.
Probably still is with Black Friday. Just bring up the library here now. So we should really get a flipping thing here with these guys. Black. It's a novel by Russell Blake, narrated by my favorite narrator, R.C. Bray. And it's a 4-novel bundle, and you get it for 1 credit if you're on the on the Audible thing, which is lots of stuff, lots of value there. But there is the one that I've been listening to now is a bit different. It's called Galaxy Outlaws, and there are how many books? There are a ton of books. There are about 9 books in this, and you also buy this for 1 credit, and it's like 7 or 8 days worth of stuff. So,
also, if you are a Twitch Prime member, it's just real quickly, Robin, just for anybody who's a Twitch Prime member, you do get books now on Audible. That's included as part of your Twitch Prime membership. So I've got actually the next book I'm going to listen to is called Hi Bob, and it's a book from Bob Newhart, which I love. Bob Newhart, funny ass guy. So I can't wait to listen to that. But yeah, they have a series of books that just get included. Like there was an X-Files book that was included, and they update that on a monthly basis. So they're just included in part of your Audible.
I'll be damned.
So this is very, very like a mix between Expeditionary Force, which we know with our friend, the weird and wacky little computer canister robot AI, and Firefly.
Right.
And very like, it's like a soap opera drama in space. Funny as well, like Firefly. It's good, so keep an eye out for those. But anyway, games.
Yes, games.
Today I feel like playing computer games. Today I feel like playing computer games.
Hey, Kim.
Yes.
If I was to ask you, hey, what games are coming out, say in December, that are going to be part of my monthly subscription, whether it be Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus or even Twitch Prime, what might those games be?
Well, I believe I have an answer for you. For your games with gold for December, they are Cube 2 on December 1st to the 31st, and Never Alone, which is an awesome game, December 16th through January 15th. And there is still Race the Sun, which is still available to the 15th. On your 360, which is also backwards compatible with your Xbox One, we have Dragon Age 2, which is available now through the 15th, and Mercenaries Playground of Destruction, available December 16th through the 31st. Scrolling forward, we have PlayStation Plus for this month. We have Onrush for the PlayStation 4. We have Soma for PlayStation 4, Sterdin for the PS3, and Steins Gate for the PS3. We also have Iconoclast for the Vita, which is also cross-buy for the PS4, and Papers, Please, also for the Vita. And your Twitch Prime games for the month are Hacknet, the Complete Edition, Poi, Smoke and Sacrifice, the SNK bundle with Baseball Stars 2, Fatal Fury Special, Metal Slug 2, Polestar, and Samurai Showdown 2, I assume. So those are your games for the month. And
sorry, I just read some really disturbing news. We'll talk about that shortly.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for that. Yes. Look, these are games included with the services. So if you don't have any of these, you're remotely curious about them, download them. You're doing yourself a disservice if you're not.
Yeah, well, I want to play the Cube too, because I played the first Cube. That was quite a good Portal sort of style game. Never Alone is fabulous. It is a fab game. Soma on the PS4, again, brilliant. Papers, Please.
If I didn't have oh god, the name just totally escaped me. I was going to say Far Cry, but it's not Far Cry. Just Cause. Yeah. If I did not have Just Cause 3 already, Mercenaries Playground Destruction would kind of entice me, but they're kind of the same game, and obviously the newer one I think is better. But
yeah, I like Mercenaries too.
If you don't own, a Just Cause game, Mercenaries might be.
There's some crap, not crap, but there's some games that aren't just as good. But
and they're free, so what the hell,
Right, exactly. Okay. All right, let's talk about what we have been playing. Phil, I'm going to start with you because let's face it, you have been living the life of a PC game elitist. You're part of the elite club now.
Living the dream. Living the dream.
Yes. You're living the headache. So talk to us. What have you been playing?
So the positives are I played Forza Horizon 4 on my laptop.
Wow.
And it was absolutely superb. I have to say, it was really, really good. So made a huge difference to play it not in front of the TV. I know that doesn't sound much, but I haven't played sort of fast games, should we say, for quite a few years away from the TV. So most of the time it's been strategy games and that sort of thing. So I had got my 4K monitor.
Right. And for clarity, real quick, Phil, you don't have a 4K TV, correct? So just the 4K monitor.
No, I have a 4K TV.
Okay. All right.
But there was, usually I'm sitting on my sofa instead of my my gaming chair. It's just an office chair, but traditional gaming chair. And hooked up to my 4K monitor through my laptop using Windows Play Anywhere and Game Pass, and was able to download it. It's one thing. PCs do seem to download slower than the Xbox, I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Okay.
So my Xbox, the 70 gig would have zipped through. But this took about half an hour, 40 minutes, which sounds, for 70 gig, don't get me wrong, that's still very fast. But compared to the Xbox, it did seem to be faster. So played some of that. Also, I won Mike Chin's raffle he did for Extra Life. Oh, really? So had a call from him live on the show, I believe it was, or recorded at least, and got a £20 gift voucher. And as I am now a PC gamer, I went for Steam and I bought 2 Point Hospital management game. And it is absolutely superb, very tongue-in-cheek, and ticks all the boxes for me. I love strategy, city building games.
This is a sort of a throwback to games that we played years ago, doesn't it? And
yes.
You're right with the tongue-in-cheek. I did play this. God, you make me feel dizzy as I'm looking into some sort of weird painting film with that camera. It's like, because it looks like it's being serious, like one of the old games we played when we were 15 years old, the Theme Hospital. But then the diseases that they have are just so unique.
So things like lightheadedness, which is someone walking around with a light bulb for a head.
Cool.
Did we lose Phil?
Looks like.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So that looks like like a fun game.
It does.
Interesting. I mean, looking at some of the stuff that's coming through the stream, I don't know if you can see it or not there, but I mean, again, it is like the old days of Theme Hospital, and we did have a look at this at EGX. But you have all these weird and wonderful diseases, and like lightheadedness, which was the bulb in the head, and a whole pile of other weird and wonderful things, and all just very, very stupid. So, and beautifully detailed too. I remember seeing the animations, and you can zoom right into the guys at how, it is like top down, but when you get right in, the details, the eyebrows and the eyelashes and all the other bits and pieces are fantastic. So, I would like to play this sometime, but it's a time thing too. What do you do?
Yep.
Are you back, Phil? Yeah. Good stuff.
I'm back. Yes, sorry, internet dropped again. So 2 Point Hospital, very, very good. And a bit of Red Dead as well.
Cool.
All right. Well, we'll definitely be talking more Red Dead in just a moment. So we'll save any Red Dead talk we'll kind of wrap that up at the end. We'll save all the Red Dead talk for the last game we talk about. Let's see. Ages of Empires, getting a little RTS action.
Yeah, so Age of Empires. So that was on offer, the first one. So it was like £10. And I spent a lot of time, huge amount of time in the early years playing that. Many that, and then on to Age of Empires 2 and 3. But Age of Empires 1 took me back and gave that a good.
Is this the revamped version, Phil? Or
it is. Okay. Yeah, so it's what they call a 4K in inverted commas version. So they just smooth the graphics a bit. It's exactly the same game as it was before. New sounds though, so it's upgraded sounds. So that whole thing is better, but in the whole, it's the same thing.
Enhanced.
Enhanced.
Enhanced for your pleasure.
Saying that they were trying to update it so that it would be more enticing to a newer generation, but the way you make it sound, it's the same shit. Just got on, slapped on some makeup, basically.
That's exactly right. At least for the first one. So
you put some makeup on a girl. I'm just saying, or a boy, for that fact. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So it is exactly the same. It's just a bit glossy.
Don't worry, we're going to talk about my posse in a moment. Let's talk about Garden Between Us, Phil.
Yes, Garden Between Us. This is right on Game Pass. So this week for Game Pass, there's some very, very good titles coming out. The first of those is The Garden Between Us, and I played about half an hour of it earlier. It's a puzzle type game, a bit like what was the name of the game where you had to turn the world around as you climbed up a column? Fez. That was it, Fez. Yeah. So this is manipulating time back and forth, it's very good. It's very cute. The puzzles so far aren't too taxing. You basically have to go back and forth, just through time, moving time back and forth to switch things on or move lamps around. So it's not too taxing at the moment, but looks really good.
I think this is one of my favorite games at EGX this year.
It was, yes. This is the one we played on the Switch.
Yeah, because it had us like a retro feel. The game that I just finished there, Figment as well. It's the same sort of art style as it too. And Figment was just awesome this year. But there was things like stereo cassettes and VHS stuff, things that you had to manipulate and pull, and it just looks cool. It's like a unique idea, and I can't wait to get stuck into this.
Yeah, it's like these two kids are in their tree house and they get struck by lightning, and it seems to be all rooms from their houses that are thrown around, and there's boxes and all sorts all over the place.
Yeah, it's a puzzle game. Yeah.
Okay, so listen up. I feel like I'm talking to Verbal Rob, and because look, the retro thing, I don't get it.
This isn't retro.
Well, no. Robin threw out the retro thing. It had a retro vibe to it. I don't know. I hear retro vibe, and I want to throw up.
No. Just some of the objects in it, some of the graphics, some of the objects. It's like you have to put a cassette in or a VHS tape and different things. I don't think it's
okay.
It's just some of the artwork. I don't think it's not meant to.
Because I hear retro vibe, and I'm thinking pixelated graphics, and look, I'm over this. No. Developers, God knows all the developers listen to this podcast. Stop making pixelated
I don't know if you're watching on the stream, Greg, if you have it there, but it is very, very pretty. It's very, very pretty. It's very, very nice.
I try not to look at what we do on the show because I don't want to be disappointed.
It reminds me a lot of Oxenfree in a way.
Jesus,
you
never watched the whole show then?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just teasing, Robin. I'm just teasing. No, but I tend not to look at our feed just because I don't want to get distracted. All right.
And it's free. It's free.
Free is a good thing. Free is a good thing.
Give it a try. You might be surprised.
And
I might be surprised.
Sarah likes
and I might
layout.
give it a try now.
So thank you, Sarah. I like the little 5. Now at the moment we have 5 cameras along the top with the video playing in the chat. So I like that. That's a new little tile that I put on. So thanks, Sarah, for that feedback. Thank you.
The new little ring. Yes. Okay. We're going to talk to Nicole because unlike what the news said that Trump was making, basically alliances with China and helping secure our trade deficits and things, we know really it's been Nicole probably bridging alliances with Chinese factions in Rise of Civilization. Let's talk about this.
Yeah. So, no.
Not so much.
No. So we're at a standstill now with basically the 2 alliances. And you can ask him, right now we're bored shitless. We are doing nothing but farming and building so we can become more powerful for the kingdom versus kingdom. Because once our little kingdom of Tikal opens up, we'll be able to attack the kingdom below us or next to us or on top of us or however it's laid out. And we've gotten yeah.
Very.
So yeah, everybody's making nice right now, and it's boring as hell.
Like I said, this is the world relations. I truly think that as the world news goes, it's all based on how people are playing this game. Because you got to figure, the Russians get pissed off at the American factions, and then they start, doing nasty shit to us in real life.
It's funny. So I'm about to. So we went to this other kingdom. Some of us that were bored. And in this other kingdom, I am right now negotiating with a Russian alliance and a Spanish, like Portuguese or Spanish. I'm not quite sure. The Spanish is a little interesting, and his English sucks balls. So, but I'm trying to talk to these two. We're trying to figure out where we're going to set our center fortress and start our little alliance family, because we came in and apparently everybody else is bored and came in too. And there's like so many people on this kingdom.
Can't you just say, fuck it, I'm attacking this guy right now?
I'm going to build my
kick it off.
Can't you can.
Can you kick it off?
Yeah, you totally can. You can totally attack whoever you want. There's consequences, however, to each one of those attacks. So you don't attack, say, Joe Blow, whose alliance tag is, I don't know, TWE or whatever, and his alliance has 40 million power. You don't attack him. You leave him alone.
Could you like sneak attack him and like totally catch him, figuratively with his pants down and just wipe him out?
You can attack. So the standing.
I just watched Red Dawn. I mean, it's like the Cubans coming over the border.
The courtesy rule is if they're in neutral territory, you can attack them. Somebody will get pissed off, but you can attack them. If they're on your territory, fuck them up. Just fuck them up. But if you go attack them on their territory, guaranteed they're gonna boohoo and get every friggin' one of their friends to come over and get you and all of your friends. And if they're 11 million power and you're 2, guess who's gonna lose?
Could you potentially kill them before they could rally their friends?
We've done it. And actually
War.
I know, that's what you want. I know. You could if they're not online. So you'd have to pay attention and know what time they're usually on or not on.
This is why you got to be careful of the Russians, because they're watching
all the time.
Oh, right. Yeah. So I need my 1 minute here. All right.
All right. Your minute.
So I'm starting the clock.
Now.
Talk about the awesomeness that is Drop Bear.
Oh God.
Right. Yes, I know. Drop Bear is absolutely awesome and amazing and just wonderful. He was in the BU3 Alliance and came over to the BU4 Alliance with us, joined us, and now he's in this new kingdom with me, and he has helped solidify a little bit of he's from Australia, so one of the guys that's in the new kingdom is also Australian, so there's that Australian awesomeness right there, and he's using that to help us out. Yeah. And he said that, and this is how awesome he is, he would change his name back to Drop Bear because it's currently Cuddly Kitten, which I can't handle. I cannot freaking handle Cuddly Kitten, but I can totally handle a pissed off koala bear. I have no idea why. He is my bear.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, the Cuddly Kitten thing didn't work for me. I needed the awesomeness that is Drop Bear. So he guaranteed he would change his name to Drop Bear if I talked about how awesome he is. And he is actually really an awesome person. He's been a very good friend through all of this. He's a very good dad, 4 kids. So there's awesomeness on a whole other level there if you got 4 kids. Just saying. I don't know for a fact. Just assuming.
I'm going to vomit any second.
I know.
That's a lot of
the good news is you have spewed awesomeness, Drop Bear or Cute Kitten, whatever, or Cuddly Kitten. What was it? Cuddly?
Yeah, Cuddly Kitten.
Yeah.
All right.
So
drop
a lot of awesomeness.
Yeah.
Drop Bear is
the flat
bomb.
cat and drop Bear.
Yes.
Drop Bear is a good name.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's good. You're getting, the criminal colony from the former British Empire on your side. There's something to be said there. You want some hooligans to rough people up. That's good. That's good.
No, he actually really is a good guy, though.
I believe you. I do.
Now
And with the name
he'll be drop bear again and stay that way.
Yes.
I could not handle cuddly kitten. I hate cats. No offense, Kim.
What if he named himself Drop Cat? Huh?
Top Cat. There we go.
All right. Let us.
You leave
move
those cats
on.
alone.
We're going to move forward. Kim, let's talk about real quickly Overcooked 2. I believe you have been talking Mark to playing in this game with you. And I say talking, I think there's actually been threats for Mark.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Little threats, we finally, what was it, one day last week, me and Nicole and Mark and Sarah all finally got into a group and played a little Overcooked. And it was fun. We even broadcasted it, I think. So that was interesting, I have to say. And people watched it, which I was shocked. So there's that. But yeah, with 4 people, it's more hectic. Definitely. But I think it was more fun, mainly because we all got to yell at Mark when they weren't yelling at me for, whatever reason.
He deserves
it. Mark tried to make it sound like he was leading everything and he was doing everything correctly. And you guys were all screwing it up. Is that the case?
Sure. Yeah, throw us right into the bus, Mark. I see how it is. Yeah. Well, no, not exactly, but
truth be told, Mark told me that he just sat back and took orders. That's all he did.
You know what? Because of that, guess what, Mark? 10 fucking points at the quiz for each.
Oh, snap.
Double points weekend.
Right now, Mark is doing this. What? What? I didn't say anything.
He's having a meltdown right about now. But yes, it was fun. I think we need to do it again, and I'll bring more Baileys because that made it even more fun. So and I have Feckin' now, so that'll.
I was just gonna say that you might want to go for the
He
stronger.
just called you a twat.
That's funny.
Not you, Greg.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, not me, Greg. Yeah.
It's okay. So, Mark is a twunt.
Thank you. That works very well.
All right. So from Overcooked, we're going to moonwalk on over to Robin Tate. See what I did there, Robin?
Yeah. Well, there you go. Moonwalker, a game from 1989. I have been, spoiling myself with Mike Chin's magic little box. Okay, so this game is old, right? And the reason that got into my mind is it was something that Mike played during his Extra Life. And I had never played it in the arcade at all. And he said, the soundtrack and everything is really good, and it's a really good game. And I thought, well, I'll give it a whiz. By Sega, makers of fantastic games like Aliens, Colonial Marines, and all this stuff.
Sega! No, not a fantastic game. And I will kick Phil off this show if he says anything to counter that.
So I got to say, the soundtrack is fantastic. The game is pretty good. It's a little brawler, a little sort of 2.5D isometric sort of thing. And if you remember, it's based roughly on the Moonwalker movie that he had, and there was a big robot. Michael Jackson turned into a big robot at the end of it, and that's in it. You fired these or
what?
Yeah, it's really
I did not.
And coming through this here, you find children, and you fondle. No, you rescue.
Whoa.
You rescue the children through this.
Hello.
Here. Yes, that was never proved. And but the thing about it is, so back in the day, these things cost 10p, right? And I think if you were sort of wind it forward 30 years, that 10p is probably worth 50p. Okay, 50 cents, maybe the guts of $1. Because it's not 25 cents anymore for you. 25 cents that was your arcade machine, wasn't it? Over there, that was what it was per game.
At one point, yeah.
So I would say we're talking $1 a time here. I'd say for me to finish this game, which I did from cover to cover, took about 20 minutes. I think I would probably have to spend like £1 a game, 50 or 60 quid. There's no way on this earth that you could get through this game. There's a challenge for you. How many restarts, extra coins do you put into this thing to finish it without spending 50 or 60 pounds. So it was an interesting experiment. I saved lots of little children. Lots of good music from Michael Jackson's soundtrack, and I finished it, covered tail to tail. So it was fun.
Yeah,
that was good. What else did I play this week? Oh yeah,
you're like in quasi retro mode right now.
Yeah, there's a bit of a problem. You're going to be talking about
a great game,
Red Dead Redemption,
and you've been, yes,
and I don't understand what's going on with me. So when the time is there, I seem to look at Red Dead Redemption and go, "Holy shit, that's really big." I'm going to get sucked into that completely. I'll play Super Lucky's Tale instead. Or I'll play Michael Jackson Moonwalker, or I'll do something, or I'll watch something on YouTube, because it's frightening me that I want to get sucked into it completely, but I'm terrified that I can't give it the time that I need to. So we'll get to Red Dead in a second. But Super Lucky's Tale, I played some of it before and went back in. Do you know what? This is a fantastic platformer. It
really is.
So much to this little game. So many different styles of gameplay, from the standard sort of 3D mode to left and right Mario style mode, and so many different puzzles, so many different things that I've came across. It's very, very polished, and it's just maybe it's too old fashioned for these days. You know, the kids have never moved on from this. It is just a very polished old style platformer of Banjo-Kazooie style and stuff like that there.
But see, okay, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. The funny thing is, and this goes back to gamers being a fickle bunch of little bitches.
Mm-hmm.
This game was, everybody was crying for this kind of game for the longest time. Bring back Banjo-Kazooie. Bring back this game. We want a game like this again. We need a game like this in the industry. And then nobody bought it. Came out. And it got mediocre reviews, and a lot of people then were saying, well, it's just too old school, and it doesn't do enough new stuff. And it's like, you can't have it both ways, people. I'm sorry, you just can't. If you want something that's going to be a throwback, support it. Otherwise, let this die. Let's move forward.
So, well, it's in the Xbox Game Pass, which is free, but you have to pay for it. But you don't have to pay an awful lot, Mr. Markanix. You pay a small amount of money for this every month and get a fantastic selection of games.
Doesn't Markanix have Game Pass? What's he complaining about?
Jesus,
he pays even less than you did, Robin.
See?
Yeah, exactly.
He only pays for half his Game Pass.
There you go, and he's still friggin' being a smartass in the chat.
Yeah.
Look, Super Lucky's Tale, don't overlook it. If you like platformers, if you're of a certain age, that's well worth having spending a wee bit of your time on there. It's really good. Mm-hmm. Now, the last thing that I went on to was it's just also appeared in the.
Okay. By the way, the last game that you're going on to is actually quite a large game, and so I now am going to call you out on the fact that you're saying you're avoiding Red Dead Redemption 2 because it's such a big game, and yet you chose to play this game, which also is an open world big game.
Yeah, well, I played 20 minutes of it. So, Agents of Mayhem, which is from the wonderful guys Volition, who created what do you call them? Yellow and Purple in the same style. Damn it! Sorry, it's just skipped my brains. There's
Saints Row.
Saints Row.
So I love the Saints Row games, especially three. Especially 3. 4 was okay, but especially 3. And I was hoping for a bit of that magic. Now I've only played the opening levels really here, and it's one of those ones to come back to again. But it's because it was in the Game Pass, I haven't bought it. Of course, it feels a bit Crackdownish, and it feels a bit Saints Row-ish. There's 3 different characters. You can switch between the characters: a heavy, a light, and a soldier type character, and they have different forces or resources and different skills. And it's tongue in cheek, but it just feels a bit flat. So I played it for about half an hour the other night, and it looks good. And maybe there's a good game in there because it came out and sort of just came out and fizzled away. It didn't get a lot of love or anything.
Yeah.
But it looks smart here. I mean, it does look like a good little game or a good big game. But if it plays anyway near as well as Saints Row the third or the fourth. I love the third the best, I think.
Well, because Agents of Mayhem is a Saints Row game, correct?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's done in purple, which is their sort of signature thing. So the purple everywhere. It looks a bit different. The graphic style looks a bit. Oh goodness, is it more cartoony or less cartoony? You definitely know. Know it's their style.
Cartoony.
Yeah, you definitely know it's their style. And it's tongue in cheek like it was before, but maybe just trying a little bit too hard. I'm not sure. But yeah. Again, Game Pass, well worth checking out. And seeing through a roll as well. But yeah, it looks nice. It looks well polished. But I think it came out and it just disappeared off the radar almost immediately. So, yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I've been doing.
Okay, well, let me finish up before we start talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. So just 3 quick games, and we don't even need to really cover them that much. I downloaded XCOM onto my Android tablet, so I had something I could play on the plane if I wanted to. Turns out I didn't want to play anything on the plane. I just wanted to sleep and listen to podcasts. But I did play a little bit of it. It plays just like XCOM, so if you need an XCOM game in your life, just get XCOM for your mobile device.
Yeah, I have this on. I've got this on iPad, Greg. I've gone through the game a couple of times. It works really well, actually.
It does. It works surprisingly well. Little PUBG right before I left for my flights, and then Shadow the Tomb Raider. I got past the pirate ship, figured out what the heck I was doing wrong, and so I was able to kind of continue on in that game. Still enjoying that game. It definitely. The pace of the game, I feel like, has fallen off a little bit. The first third of the game, I think, starts off really strong, and there's a really great bit where, and it really is kind of the very beginning of the game where you're in the jungle, and it's very unknown, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody that might be playing it because the game still is not all that old. So I'll just say you feel. You feel very vulnerable in that opening sequence, and I loved that. I wanted more of that from Tomb Raider, and now that I've gotten into the game a little bit further, I feel less vulnerable now. I feel a little bit more kind of the superpowered Lara Croft. So it's still good. Still, the story's halfway decent still. Really enjoying the visuals from it, and again, still very puzzle heavy. The combat is not nearly as much as it was in the previous game, so I like that because I feel like it's kind of coming back to some of those original kind of Tomb Raider roots of being more about searching for tombs. So yeah, it's been good. And then there's Red Dead Redemption 2. So yeah, continuing on with the single player, but also dove into the online beta and checked that out. Where do we want to go first? Do we want to talk about the online beta first and kind of where that's at? I think there's some positives. I think there's some negatives.
I can't help you out because I haven't done a lot, but I'm interested to hear about the online stuff. So,
I'm the same here. I haven't started the online yet, but I'm interested to hear what you have to say about it.
So the online to me, ironically, feels very much like the single player in how it starts. It's a very scripted. Walks you through setting up a character, getting you into the world of Red Dead Redemption, and so it's very much a guided experience. I mean, the opening tutorial is a good probably half hour long, and you can't jump right into multiplayer until you finish it out. And once you finish it out, and there is the last thing you do to finish out the tutorial is you actually pair up with 4 other players to do a mission. And they're just random people. You don't know who they are. You don't really have the opportunity to select friends. So you have to do it. You go out. It's a real straightforward mission of stealing some horses and bringing them back. And so you do that. And once you do that, then the game unlocks and you're open to do what you want to do. The interesting thing is in order for you to party up with somebody, you would think that would be well, let me take a step back. They break out the online sections into single player online.
Yeah.
In essence, your solo online, Then there's Posse. And then there is a bunch of single-player set pieces. And I say single-player set pieces. It's not really single-player. But it's solo in different environments. But when you go into a solo game, you can still pull in friends or party up with individuals. I'm going to stop saying posse because I don't want to confuse people.
So the first sort of mission that you get that I've done, the first bit, that you go and you plant the dynamite under the train tracks and you rob the train and you pull the guys out.
Right.
Is that the sort of thing you get to do? Like with 3 other people? Like one person has to plant the dynamite, you just wait, you just blow up a train.
It's not as complex as that, is it? It's without too many spoilers, you go to a place, have to get something, and have to deliver that something.
Right. One thing I will say for the online, I loved the character setup screen.
Yeah.
And I say screen, but they have this sequence of how you create your character. In essence, well, I don't want to spoil it for anybody. Just know I really enjoy that sequence. I think it's very unique, and they do it right. So you customize your character to begin with, and then you're released out into the world. The online play it's a bit confusing right now. The menus are a bit finicky. Like once I got into an online session, for the life of me, I could not figure out how the hell to quit. Like, how do I quit the freaking online game? Well, turns out you have to hit the start button, bring up the menus, and then click on story mode. And when you click on story mode, then it gives the option to exit out of the online. Completely unintuitive.
It's just going back to the character creation. I think it's absolutely brilliant, and I actually feel a lot more connected with the character I've made than with Arthur Morgan.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Visually, it's on par. I don't think quite as polished as the single player. So you definitely see a little bit of a drop in some of the visual fidelity. Like I noticed they do a little bit more kind of Fog of War. It doesn't quite have, like, the characters themselves don't feel as polished visually as, say, Arthur Morgan does. But it looks good. It really does still look good. It handles the same way. So the experience feels very similar to playing the story mode.
And it does. And I think that's one issue for me is that it is very much like the story mode. You are doing all the things, and I never really played GTA online, so I don't know if it's similar, but you can be riding around for ages and it feels like a single player game. You're doing the same sort of things, you're doing the same sort of activities. They do say that some of the tasks that you go on, some of the missions, you can be intercepted by other people, but I haven't seen anyone else to intercept.
Oh, well, let me tell you about that. So I jumped in. I was with Corbs from the community. We figured out how to finally connect up and get our game going, which that still feels disjointed. Again, I think some things they need to iron out. But we finally got into the game together. And when we first got into the game together, we just joined each other's game, but we weren't actually posse'd up. So we were actually enemies to one another. So, of course, we went about with a bunch of nonsense for quite some time. He shot me in the head, and I was shooting him. You respawn very quick in the game. So in multiplayer, like the moment you're killed, the screen fades out, and then it gives you the option to respawn. And when you respawn, you respawn in near where you died, not directly where you died. So this way, you can kind of come back to the fight. So once we figured out how to party up, we then decided just to be dickheads, and we tried killing numerous people, some successfully, some not so successfully, and we found ourselves getting into firefights a lot, which was a lot of fun. But you respawn in so fast. So, I mean, you never kind of had that satisfaction of saying, I killed that guy, now I can go loot his body and take my time. You were like, the moment you killed him, you were on edge thinking, where is he going to be coming from? to take his revenge.
Here, what about then all the horde mode that we had so much fun in Red Dead 1? I mean, is there any sign of that sort of stuff?
I believe that is some of those set pieces. And there's still a lot still to come on this game. So one of the things that, not to totally avoid your question, Robin, but one of the things I think is really broken in the game right now is the economy. So in regular Red Dead Redemption, right now I feel like I have money to burn. I'm not having a problem finding money and robbing things and getting decent chunks of money for doing that. If I kill somebody on the road and I rob them, usually I'll get $4 or $5 off of them, in terms of how much I get when I loot their body. In this game, you loot somebody that you kill on the road, and it's like 15 cents, 20 cents.
Jack squat.
Yeah. And the items cost as much as they do in the single-player game. So if you're wanting to customize your character, you really have to save up. And of course, there's penalties for when you die. I believe you lose money, or you can lose money. So I think they need to take a look at how they're rewarding players, because there's also a gold bar system, which I haven't totally figured out. But I think that's basically going to be the microtransaction where you can buy gold bars, which you can convert to currency and then spend money in the game. But
okay.
So far, so good.
So
it performs well from an online perspective.
In chat, Sarah's saying she doesn't like the way the character doesn't speak. She says it breaks connection.
Yeah, that is a disconnection. And that's the plus, if you will, of the single player game versus the multiplayer. In the multiplayer, you are a silent protagonist. In the single player game, you're obviously a voiced character that they spent a lot of time developing good quality dialogue for.
So Sarah, you've got a D&D it. Yeah, get in there.
Funnily enough, I didn't know my character wasn't going to be talking, but the character I created looks like he could be mute or could have had his tongue cut out. So it actually, there's lots of references as well. When people talk to you, they make comments about you being quiet and not saying anything. So actually, I haven't minded that at all because it's fitted in really well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm bothered by it a little bit here and there, because there's some natural times where you feel like there would be a back and forth conversation, and that just doesn't happen. Other little things, little subtle things. So, when you're out on the trail and you're passing by another person on horseback, you have the options to greet them, to, you can rob them, you can call them out, that kind of thing. You don't get that option in online. So, and that's with NPC players. You only get the option of aim your weapon or use emotes. And emotes, mind you,
I'm sorry. I was multitasking, and that's the only thing I heard.
But emotes don't do anything for NPC characters. So it seems like they just kind of ignore that. So you can't really diffuse a situation. So if you pull your weapon on somebody by accident or you bump into them, whatever, 9 times out of 10 it's going to result in a firefight, as opposed to just being a situation of you could diffuse it with a kind of back and forth conversation. Also, when you kill people, they are very similar to the single player. You're going to get witnesses. You're going to get situations of the law coming after you. Let me just tell you, they come after you in full force. And the funny part was we had 2 people. One of us might escape the zone, but the other person was stuck in the zone. And they would drag basically all the law enforcement with them. Yep. And then suddenly you'd be wanted again. But it also was just fun.
And have you tried the Make It Count PUBG type thing in it?
That's not available yet.
All right. Because Mark's saying there's a battle royale mode. It's called Make It Count. Okay. He says it's slow, unlike PUBG. So sounds like.
I'm sorry, Mark isn't on the show.
No, he's
so
not.
I don't know why.
Anyway, thanks for your input, Mark.
Thanks, but no thanks, Mark.
I've played the 32-player sort of team deathmatch type game.
Okay.
Wow.
How was that?
It's very good, but I think these guys have been playing for. It feels like the people I was playing against have been playing it for a very, very long time because they were very good.
Yeah,
well,
I
it's
mean,
better than me.
This is also, you're not a bullet sponge in this game. So you get shot just a couple times or one good headshot, you're done. The saving grace to that is you respawn quickly. So you're back into the game very quickly. So it doesn't feel as punitive as, say, now I'm kind of curious how that Battle Royale mode is going to feel if you're not any kind of bullet sponge, what's the time to death ratio going to be, right?
Mine's going to be fairly quick.
Is very quick.
Yeah. But I do love the fact, but it still feels sneaky. It still feels like it has some of that the kind of PUBG vibe to it, where you're using cover, you're sneaking up on people, having a fight. So this brings up another thing I don't like. They have the map, the little map HUD in the bottom corner.
Mm-hmm.
It shows all players, whether you're an enemy player or a friendly. It'll show you as either a blue or a red dot. And the problem is it doesn't matter if you've seen them or not. You'll see them on the map, kind of like Halo, in the Halo map, where you always could see the dots and know where other players were at.
It doesn't show. Yeah, it doesn't show you in the 32 players at a deathmatch.
Oh, it didn't show you.
No, it doesn't show.
Okay, that's good. So maybe that was just in the free roam mode I was in. It seemed like we were coming into firefights all the time, and so they would show up there. But
okay.
I'm happy to hear that that's not in the 32-player deathmatch, because I like it. It certainly feels like a game that could do Battle Royale really well, because cover matters in this game. Using trees to hide behind and rocks to shoot behind, that all matters big time.
Mm-hmm.
What else? So kind of shifting from the multiplayer, unless anybody wants anything, in the last little bits to talk about there.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, single player, still freaking awesome.
Right?
Yes, I just completed the Jack Hill Gang treasure map hunt.
Oh,
Love
I got that one.
Love that. It is a good little challenging treasure map, and it's just like the previous Red Dead. You have these maps that have drawings on them, and you'll see kind of images of the landscape, and then kind of a smaller drawing showing more specifically of where you need to go type thing. So just really good. I'm just very pleased that it all has still been retained in the game and works very well. Okay, so real quickly, and so I came across this on my way to complete the Jack Hill Gang.
Mm-hmm.
I came across this little settlement, and I say settlement. It was really 3 houses, probably a barn, and then 2 smaller little houses. And as I'm approaching it, they're already showing up as hostile to me. So I don't know who these people were, but I think they were some kind of I don't want to say Amish, but they kind of reminded me of Amish people, but they had weapons. I mean, they were
Amish.
Sorry, maybe it was Harrison Ford's family.
Yeah, exactly.
He
I
had
forgot the name of that movie, but yeah. No, but they were out in the woods, in the backwoods, just kind of like a hillbilly family. They didn't want any outsiders coming in, and so I was approaching up, trying to be all sneaky, and then one of them spotted me, and then just all hell breaks loose. So I have just this amazing firefight with the last person is in this barn, and it's the woman, the mother of the family. She's up in there, and she's shooting down at me from the barn window, and I just start lobbing dynamite into the barn, blowing crap up, and so I eventually kill her, and then I go back to the house. I search through everything, and then I just was like, I kind of wonder what happens if I light a fire. So I had a Molotov cocktail. I threw it into the house. The freaking house burns down. The fire spread throughout the entire house. The windows start popping out just like it would in a real fire. And then, ironically, the rain came, and it ended up putting the fire out because it started to rain. But I was so amazed at how well it depicted the fire spreading and coming out the windows. And it was just a really kind of cool moment.
It seems to be the most fulfilled world that I've ever seen in a video game. There just seems to be so much detail, like all these stories. Everybody has their own little stories at the moment, and it just it's beautiful to look at, and you could just wander around it forever and get lost in it.
Yeah, I mean, I came across a village earlier called Pleasance, and I won't tell you too much about it, but
you murdered them all.
So, no, there was no one there. There was no one there left to murder. It was a deserted town, and he gets out his little notebook and makes a note of it and does a sketch. But the date on the town when the town was founded, and then the date on the tombstones of all the people in the town is very interesting, and how everyone died. It's really spooky, actually.
Okay. Yeah,
so there's the town of Pleasance.
Oh, I hope there's a Back to the Future link up somewhere, some cave somewhere, and you find the DeLorean buried in a cave. That would be really cool. See,
I mean, I've heard there are like meteors that have struck. I have yet to come across them, but apparently you can find meteorites.
Yep.
UFOs and.
Kind of speaking of Robin, how you're talking about people having dynamic, situations of how they handle things. So, once you get into the chapters, you change some locations. There were these two guys that were trying to crack a safe, and apparently it's very close to one of the areas where you're camping out at. So a lot of people have come across them, and I guess there's a lot of different ways you can go about approaching this. So I saw them. And I decided, I heard them talking about how they're going to crack the safe open. So I just said, screw this. I'm just going to pick them off with my long-range rifle with a scope. Shot both of them, killed both of them. And I just rode up nonchalantly, looted their bodies. And I go to the safe. And I get to the safe. And I'm figuring it's going to give me the option to try and crack the safe. Like X to crack safe or something to that effect. Like it does normally when you come across a loot box. Nothing.
No.
And I'm like, did I just totally screw myself out of what's inside this safe because I killed these guys without talking to them first? And so I was actually kind of disappointed myself. I was like, crap. And then I'm like, well, I'm just going to take a chance. And I grabbed a piece of dynamite and I threw it at the safe and I ran a little distance away, blows the safe door clean off. And I came up and grabbed the money inside the safe. And I was just like, this is amazing. And then I hear from pretty much everybody else how they approach this completely different. People talking about how they talked to these guys, or one person just let them crack the safe first and then killed them and took the money. And so it just is a game that seems like it accounts for every situation possible.
See, I have a funny story there. With the safe crackers. Yeah, I found them. I was just riding around, exploring, and I come across them. They killed my ass. Because I had died before because wolves had attacked me, and apparently I didn't re-equip my pistol, not knowing I had to re-equip my pistol. So I went up there thinking, because they got pissed at me and told me to leave, and then they started firing at me. And I'm like, you know what, screw this, I'm going to kill these assholes. Didn't have my pistol equipped. So I was pulling out my knife, thinking it was my pistol, and nothing was happening. So, yeah, I haven't found them since. You literally
brought a knife fight, or you brought a knife to a gunfight.
I literally brought a knife to a gunfight. And, yeah, I haven't come across them again since. So hopefully I can find them again because that would be interesting. And I really need the money. So. Yeah.
All right. Anybody else want to chime in on Red Dead? We can move on from this. I know we've been talking for a while.
Actually, yes, a little bit. I actually went and got Micah out of jail. So I have actually progressed it just a little bit further.
Oh, so, yeah. That's
Micah.
A moment.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hate that, man. And now I'm riding around with like a $200 bounty on my head, and I have like $9 in my pocket because, while in Strawberry, you have to have the bath. So, I went and did all that, and now I have like $9 and a $200 bounty. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Mike, just think of the Red Dead Redemption equivalent of Trevor.
Oh, yeah.
From GTA 5. That he basically is Trevor.
Wow.
He's a douchebag and a half.
Tell us how you really feel, Kim. All right. All right. Well, then let us move forward. I think this is the appropriate time to take a quiz.
All right, now everybody get settled. Get away from the windows. Now look. Good. It's time for the quiz. Yeah, you know what? Oh, too bad.
I guess he's not here.
All right. So this is triple point weekend, right, Nicole?
Oh, now we're triple points.
Triple points for Phil only.
Since Mark is mouthing off in the chat, I figured we should up the ante.
Oh, he said he's a proper twunt.
Yep.
Twat.
All right, Nicole, take it away.
Alrighty then. Oh God, I hate that sound now. Anyway, welcome to Who Said It Best, Game of Quotes. I always want to say like Game of Thrones, Game of Quotes.
Oh, damn it. Do you know what we did really badly? We had a speak pipe all about Red Dead Redemption, and we were meant to play it.
Well,
but unfortunately, it's from Mark Annex, so it's not really that important. so we can save it the next week.
Or if is that the only speak pipe we have?
Yeah. We'll maybe do it later then. Okay, it's not appropriate.
We can do it after the news.
Yeah, maybe we'll fit it in somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah, we'll try.
All right, sorry, Nicole.
Wow.
All right.
Alrighty then. So
Mark love.
Yes, lots of Mark love. Back to Who Said It Best. The quotes mainly come from video games, but can come from other game-related sources, including but not limited to movies, graphic novels, fictional stories, and just some bullshit I made up. Just kidding on that last part.
It's true.
No, it's not true. After the quote and answer choices are read on the count of 3, give your answer in the show notes, either A, B, or C. Not ass, Robin. Ass is not a choice.
Well,
and the correct answers are worth.
Nicole, should we go through the leaderboard just to name off all the names?
I will. Don't worry.
Okay. All right.
The answers are worth 1 point.
All right.
So
you're okay, Mark.
Yeah. Currently, Kim is in the lead with 17. Mark is tied at 17, but Kim's about to fuck that up.
I hope.
I do too. I'm like, I really do too. No offense,
I feel
but I really
slightly like there might be some insider trading going on here.
No, there's no, absolutely zero. I like that they're neck and neck and they're fighting this out. This has been the most fun. The whole reason we didn't quit this game when we did was because of this antagonism between the two of them. I love that. Nobody gets any cheats. Nobody. Because I like them fighting. This has been absolutely fantabulous.
I have to overtake that tit too. So.
How did he get 11? Anyway, he's got 11. You've got 10, Greg. Gary has 4, which puts Phil at 3.
It's all Windows' fault.
Yes, I would say, and it's Windows. It's got to be Windows related. I mean, he could probably have been at 13 had it not all been for Windows.
19, Nicole.
And Rich. Fuck Rich. All right, so vote number 1.
My body is ready.
Your body is ready? All right, fingers on the keys, people. Get away from those numbers, Robin, or I will hurt you. All right.
I wasn't playing with the numbers. I was playing with my big, beautiful...
Pinky.
Oh, God bless America.
All right.
Okay, so quote number 1. Who are you that you do not know your history? Who are you that you do not know your history? Is it A, Benny, B, Ulysses, or C, Anders? And these are from Fallout Vegas.
Oh, shit.
Why is my history teacher not on this answer list?
I don't. So, who are you that you do not know your history? A, Benny, B, Ulysses, C, Anders. I need your answers in 3, 2, 1. I like this. That Robin had his answer already there, as in, fuck it, I don't know.
Be right.
Let's see. So we have 1A, 2 B's, and a C. Well, somebody got it right.
Yay!
We have all 3 answers.
The win already.
I can tell you that it's not Greg.
Woohoo!
Sorry, Greg. And I can tell you that Kim just outdid Mark.
Yay.
So, the answer is B, Ulysses, and it goes to a point to Kim and a point to Phil on that one.
Nice, Phil. Nice.
So, Phil, yes, you now have a whole whopping 4 points.
Gary Socket.
Nice.
Oh, y'all are funny. So, Phil, 1 point, and Kim, 1 point. I'm going to put that's Phil 4 and her 14 because y'all be some cheating fools here. I'm just saying. All right, quote number 2. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Perfectly proper English there. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. Is it A, Celeste, B, Chief, or C, Chip? And this is from Animal Kingdom.
Oh, Animal Kingdom, of course. Yeah, I know it.
So don't wish it were easier. Wish it were better. A, Celeste, B, Chief, or C, Chip. Your best guess in 3, 2, 1. Oh my God.
All right. I would also just like to point out, I have been to Animal Kingdom, and none of these people are in Animal Kingdom.
I just picked B because that's the name of one of my cats. So.
Animal Kingdom.
Just one of your
Name
cats.
of
That
your
is funny.
Yeah.
So,
Master
across the board, we have all B's.
Yeah. That's a quadruple B.
I know. This is so sad. I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah, well.
No, all of you got points.
Yes!
I'm sorry for those other cunts.
Mark feeling his victory slipping away.
That's 2 questions out of 10. Only 8 to go.
Rob, I almost wrote tit.
Well, you know.
And Kim.
Call it like you see it.
Yep.
Well, he had big tits there. Big, beautiful tits is his name. And I was looking at the thing and never mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let it go.
Okay, quote number 3. Nothing is more badass than treating a woman with respect. I did this one for Kim. I changed because of our little conversation earlier with the pre-show stuff. So, nothing is more badass than treating a woman with respect. Is it A, Mr. Torg, B, Dr. Ned, or C, Mad Moxie? These are all Borderlands.
And I think I know this one.
So, nothing is more badass than treating a woman with respect. A, Torg, B, Ned, or C, Moxie. And I need your answers in 3, 2, 1. All right. So I have 3 C's and an A. Actually, I have 2 D's, but whatever. I hate saying the C's thing. So either C or A is correct, actually.
Okay.
So it was not Dr. Ned. And we all know Ned was a dick in game anyway. So
I never played it.
It seemed like this would be something being said by a female character. That's where I went with this.
Yes,
it's a badass.
It does seem that, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's not right. It's probably A.
Y'all fuck it up. Y'all did.
I'm so happy not to get this right that Kim gets it right.
It is actually Kim that got it correct, and it is Miss Torg.
I love Torg. He's awesome.
I guess that probably was one of her favorite characters.
Oh, yeah.
So
he screams all the time. So
yes. You can imagine him. He's screaming this out at people.
That's what the voice I heard in my head. That's how I knew. I'm like, that's got to be Torg. So,
all right. So this puts Kim at 20 points.
Wow.
20 points.
Mark's given up in the chat. He's quit. Fee loser.
Yeah.
20
Yeah. Mark, you
fixed.
Mark could have avoided all of this by just, because the irony is he's in the chat.
Yeah.
on the day he's saying, I want to take a day off from the podcast.
Yeah.
Glutton for punishment, Mark.
All right. So Greg got a point. That makes him 11.
Those are the greatest years.
Rob got one, makes him 12. Right into puberty there, Robin. And Phil has 2, making him 1 ahead of Gary the Cunt.
Oh, it's on.
Oh, yeah.
Sound like Donkey Kong.
Very, very good.
I think y'all did well. Oh, why has Rob's been on the TV on Twitter? What? I just saw Robin's big old face on Twitter.
Oh, hey, look, there's Phil.
I mean, Twitch.
Excellent.
Oh, there's Phil again.
That camera's working.
Excellent.
That camera's working.
Good stuff. Thanks for
all
that.
right. Hey, we do have a couple news articles. I didn't actually post them yet because I just was looking up some stuff, and I was like, let me just see what is out in the news. So Nintendo is ending its creator program that restricted video sharing. So it's interesting how they're doing this. So they're basically saying they're going to end the creators program. They're going to publish some guidelines to make it easier for creative fans to show their love for Nintendo and monetize videos that include Nintendo game content. But the gist of it is you can show Nintendo games, but you have to do something additional, or, on top of it, or from a creative perspective to enhance the video. It can't just be straight gameplay. Mm-hmm. If it's only gameplay, they're going to flag you and pull you down. So I think this is kind of good news. It's a step forward in the right direction for once with Nintendo and its online. That they're making efforts to try and be more inclusive. But dear God, this company is like they got the tightest asses when it comes to their content and allowing people to just talk about it. So anyway, so there's that. Yeah. Steam, apparently, this was interesting, and I just kind of came across this article. So Steam gives successful developers a larger cut of game revenue. So Valve wants to make Steam more alluring for larger developers, so they're willing to give up a slice of the pie to make it happen. So that's an interesting, kind of shift. Before it's kind of across the board. So any game that earns over 10 million on Steam since October 1st, 2018 will provide developers a 75% cut of future revenue rather than its usual 70%.
We should write a game.
If it makes at least 50 million, they take home 80% of any subsequent earnings. So the interesting caveat to that is they get their standard cut of 70%. Up until it earns over 10 million. And once it earns over 10 million, anything after that, they get a 75% cut. So Steam is still taking that large chunk off the front end. And then if they make 50 million, then anything after 50 million, they get the 80% cut as opposed to so it's still providing some levels of performance for the games.
So at 50 million, would you be really worried if you were a small developer doing that?
Maybe. Yeah. I guess it depends upon your goals.
I suppose so.
5% for growing your team and trying to become a bigger studio makes a difference. So.
Yeah, but if it wasn't for the Steam platform, you probably wouldn't get it out there anyway. So.
Also true. Also true.
I'm sure all of those things are negotiable as well.
Yeah. And then sorry, you were going to say something, Nicole?
I said no. All right, moving on.
All right, moving on.
I'm hungry.
Sorry. My bad.
She's starving.
Excuse me. This makes me sad. Netflix drops Daredevil.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah.
They're on a shopping spree.
Huh.
Yeah, Netflix and Disney canceled Daredevil. This is heartbreaking.
One thing you got to think
go ahead.
So just on this, Disney are actually starting their own streaming service.
Oh yeah,
right.
That's right.
So So you never know. This may appear on the new Disney streaming service, which is a pain in the arse because it means another service to sign up to.
Yeah.
But they are starting to cancel all of their Marvel shows on Netflix. So I wouldn't be surprised if it appears further down the line on the Disney service.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. In other Netflix news, interactive Minecraft adventure is now available on Netflix. So there you go. They take one more.
Oh boy, sign me up.
So when developer Telltale Games laid off most of its staff in September, it temporarily retained a skeleton crew to finish up a work on a Netflix version of Minecraft Story Mode.
There you go.
The first 3 episodes of the interactive adventure are now available on the streaming platform. So go check it out. I have no clue. If this is going to be any good or not. Stop being such a negative Nancy Kim.
Ooh, Sarah said Netflix just raised their price in Canada.
And I've heard that they're going to eventually.
Yeah.
So.
Again?
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I'm already paying out the wazoo.
All right, right?
Then you should definitely not pay out the wazoo. You want to pay for the
No, I actually only pay half because I just only pay half. We'll just go with that.
Right, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I understand.
Yep. Fully understood that. Probably why they're raising the rates in Canada.
I feel like
Nicole is everybody blame Nicole.
I may have scarred my eldest son for life because when he signed up to his Xbox account, I made a terrible error thinking I was being smart and made his gamer tag Wazoo.
Oh, yeah. No.
Only it's a few years later the realization now he calls himself Waz now. But I'm sure somewhere in his head he thinks my father called me something that comes out of his ass. Oh dear, I probably scarred him forever.
Yeah. You know, for $10 I think you can change that, Rob.
God, he's turned into a decent young man.
For $10 you can save your son's
dignity, self-respect.
I am not going to Vietnam for anything, not even for $10. Look, he's old enough now. He's 18. He has already adjusted his gamer tag, and
Wow, that's parenting.
Sorry, son. I love you.
You're not an ass. You know.
Oh dear.
You didn't come out of your dad's ass either, apparently.
Yeah, definitely not the way it works. All right. I think this might have been covered last week. Just double checking, Robin. EGX.
No, this is
back
brand new.
to London.
So, but no. This is this week's news. So, So EGX for the last 4 years, has been in Birmingham, which is up north.
Right.
And it is always historically was in Earl's Court, old exhibition centre in London, centre of London, and it's moved back there again, away from Birmingham, and it's going to the XL Centre, which is a custom built, not an old fashioned hall. It's a custom built exhibition halls. So do you know what? I loved my time in Birmingham, but I'm looking forward to getting back to the show in London because there was just so much more, so much more to do.
I think this is good for the show, though, also, because I think London, to me, is a city that just kind of, for those outside of the UK, mind you, you know, when we hear EGX in London, it's like, oh, that's like kind of a big deal. That's like a big show in London. Mm-hmm. And then you hear EGX in Birmingham, and it's like, what is it, like a PAX East show that nobody really cares about for the first few years?
Hey, I live in Birmingham.
Rest my case. I rest my case.
So look, I'm sorry, Phil. I'm sorry, Mark, and the people that are up north. But because it is a bit more of a commitment and financially and everything else. But I do know people like myself that travel anyway. But I know like Mike Chin and guys like that. It was almost too local for them.
Yes.
So it gives it's an opportunity. So like this here, going to London now, it gives a lot of our community, which we seem to attract quite a lot of North Englanders. There's quite a few in the community. It's an opportunity to spend the weekend away.
My question, real quickly, is Nicole texting us or taking pictures of the screen?
Doing a selfie. Doing a selfie. So anyway, on a related note, Mike Chin from Veteran Gamers has just uploaded this week Part 1 of EGX. So if you do a search for
excellent
veteran gamers, I will put a share up as well. The EGX Part 1. Part 2 is going to be very messy, I believe.
Some breaking news about this, Robin, and this is actually important. Anybody planning to go to EGX 2019 in London, Robin Tate has opened up his hotel room for anybody and everybody. So, if you need a good spooning, just reach out to Robin Tate, and he will take care of you.
Hey, do you know what? Yeah, if people want to come to London and they need to partner up or they need help with where they're going, I mean, there is talk about us doing Airbnb and getting a big house or a big apartment somewhere for a lot of people. And that probably will be a good idea, a good thing to happen. So, and we also had plans for Birmingham next year to make our Friday night event a little bit bigger. So
anymore.
Well,
it's going to be London, baby.
London town.
Yep.
So there's some chat about seeing where the midlife gamer guys are going, how they're going to handle it. The last time they were in London, there was a very good sports bar that they were in, and it probably will end up back there, I would say. And we'll see what we do as well. And so I think it's a good thing back to London. Sorry, Birmingham, but back to London. Landing.
And this is September.
Yeah, September. Is it October? It's actually moved into, I think.
I think it's September, isn't it?
Is it September?
September, October. It's right. It was around my birthday this year, around the 29th. So
I can look it up, but I think it surprised me a bit. Let me just have a quick look.
Well, while we're talking about this, Kim, I'm going to prep you to talk about the upcoming games.
October.
So just ready for that.
Yeah, October. Yeah.
Okay, October
so
it is.
Let's move back a little bit this time. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, new releases, Kim. Let's get this train rolling.
We will do that. Your new releases for December 1st through the 8th are Just Cause 4 for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC on the 4th. Persona 3 Dancing in the Moonlight for the PS4 and Vita, also on the 4th. Okay, seriously? Because I copied it. Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight for the PS4 and the Vita. So I guess if you don't like Moonlight and you like Starlight, there you go. Also out on the 4th. And last but certainly not least, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Switch, out on the 7th.
What is this game? I don't think I've ever heard about it. In fact, I don't think they've ever mentioned it on Nintendo Direct at all. Ever. Once.
Once? Ever. Once.
Yep.
Nope.
Ever.
Never. Ever.
Nope. Didn't talk about it at all at E3 for
I have no idea what it would possibly even be.
Nope. Not at all. All right, Kim. Thank you for that.
Sure.
Hey, Playdates, just come check out Rise of Civilization, OC Podcast Alliance, if you want to make war or make nice, depending upon what time it is. Nicole will be your guide on that entire endeavor. I'm sure there are other people that you can reach out to, Nicole, besides yourself, or is it just you? Are you the queen bee? The business?
Well,
no. Kim's on there. RCGC's there. I mean, you can reach out to any of us and make it happen. Like, a little communication never hurt anybody.
No, it did not, unless you're going to talk about a posse. Wednesdays, 9 p.m. in the UK, you can come and hang out with Robin and Mark as they convoy.
Or whatever.
We doing that?
Whatever.
Or whatever. Or whatever.
Yeah,
convoy
whatever.
or whatever.
Wednesday night is 9 o'clock is my sort of game time. So if you see me playing, jump on. Phil, Mark, everybody,
right.
Just come along and jump in. So that's the plan.
Good to know.
Definitely.
All right. Robin, do you want me to walk through Victory's Achieved?
Yeah, fire on. I'll read them out. You do the intro bit. Okay.
All right. Hey, Victory's Achieved. If you haven't heard of this is the most exciting thing happening in gaming outside of everything else happening in gaming. Basically, if you complete a game, we ask that you simply take your cell phone, kind of like what Nicole was doing earlier, but this time take a selfie with yourself and the game in the background, and then tweet it to @OC_podcast on Twitter, mind you. That's part of this whole tweeting thing. So you can't put it on Facebook. Got to be on Twitter. Throw in the hashtag Victory Achieved, and you're going to be part of a contest. And you could win 20 space bucks or 15 fake money pounds for either PSN, Xbox Live, or Steam. And the contest runs through the end of December. So get in there, get completing games, snap off that tweet, and be part of something where you just might win.
Cool.
And hey, you could be like these cool people who have beat games. Robin, take it away.
And in order of completion this week, we had John Mouse. He finished a game called Typewriter. You can tell he's a school teacher. Real Richard Webster, Assassin's Creed Origins, Caliburn M, Super Mario Odyssey, PG Tips, great to see you back, Paul, Shadow of the Colossus, Colonel Cars, Red Dead Redemption 2, our second completion. That was first one, of course, was Richard. John Mouse was back with Warhammer Vermintide, Caliburn M with Metal Gear Solid, John Mouse again with Bro Force, and the girl Amras, who wears Spider-Man clothes underneath his main clothes and wonders why he goes into his shop and they say they spot the Spider-Man uniform underneath his main clothes and they say, "Shh, we'll keep your secret." I think it's
and he looks thrilled about it. Yeah, absolutely thrilled.
He finished Resident Evil 7. So well done, guys. That's absolutely fantastic. And this is for you.
You all have a victory's achieved. Victory's achieved. You have won a victory's achieved.
There you go.
I felt like there was an extra oomph in that one this time. All right. Hey, never mind. I was going to actually make that comment about Amras beating Resident Evil 7, but it's lost. Hey, if you want to be part of the podcast, you can check out the conversation every week as we fire up on twitch.tv/OC podcast, mixer.com/OC podcast, and youtube.com/OC podcast. The reason why we are repeating this information is because we want you to be part of the conversation. Come in, be part of the chat. We start up at right around 9 p.m. in the UK, right around 1 p.m. in the West Coast, right around 4 p.m. in the East Coast, 3 p.m. in Central Time, 6 p.m. on the Easter Island, and if you happen to be part of the penal colony known as Australia, 7 a.m. So there you go. Come out, hang out, be part of the fun. And if you're crotchety and you're an invert and you don't like talking to people and you just want to listen to us in silence as you are basically huddled up in the corner of your room, download us on iTunes or Stitcher or Google Podcasts, whatever. Come check it out. We're everywhere and anywhere you want us to be. We're probably in your closet right now. Just don't look. We also have clubs. God, we really are everywhere. We have clubs. OC Podcast Club on Xbox One, OC Podcast Community on PS4, OC Podcast Group on Steam, and if you want to be ignored on Discord, OC Podcast Server on Discord. It's the future, but we don't care. And that really kind of sums it all up. Other than this, Robin.
You like us, we like you. See where I'm going with this? Follow us on Twitter at OC_podcast. Check us out on Facebook, fb.ocpod.com, or email us, podcast@ocpod.com. We'd love to hear from you.
And that feels like it's a good show.
Wait. We ignored Mark on the speak pipe.
That's right. We have ignored Mark. Why would we ignore Mark? I don't know. All right, Robin.
Time to close up.
Hello. Hello.
Let's just do this.
Hope you're having a great show so far, and I hope everything's going smoothly for you, Robin. Spinning.
Yeah, that's enough of that. Thanks.
Oh no.
Let's let the man have his due.
Poor Mark.
3 points down.
So, are we out of here?
Oh no. We're not. Mark, sorry. Fuck you. All right. Let's move on to shout-outs. Nicole, why don't you start us off with the shout-outs?
Oh, well, I'd like to shout out the dogs, which have just been let out by my son.
Who let the dogs
he's the
out?
one that, yes, he would be the one that let the dogs out.
Right.
No, shout out to you guys. Thanks for having me on to spread the quiz joy and torture you. And to our lovely shatters and all of our little chatbots. I'm going to start calling them chatbots. I love that. Anyway, I'm going to let Kim read them off. I'm going to tell y'all that love you guys. Thank you. And I'm
Go
so
kill a
used to
kid.
yelling at Mark that I don't know who to go to next. Phil. Go with Phil.
Thank you, Nicole. It's very tiring doing the statue impression for the whole show.
You have been so good at it, mind you. Multiple times I thought you actually moved, and I'm like, nope, still.
I've been
stuck.
practicing my ventriloquist skills. No, thank you all again for a very amusing show. And I have to say, I love Tipsy Kim. Kim keep drinking that. It's brilliant. No, for those that haven't picked it up in the feed, please have a listen to OCD&D. It's a little project that we've got going, and we're having great fun with it. So,
even though there's a snooty elf, but anyway.
Hey, nobody got poisoned this week. It was a win
right,
for everybody.
Damn it.
That's very true.
I don't know. My magical item kind of sucked, but all right.
Yeah. Well, there won't be any smells anymore. Just saying.
No.
And over to talking of smells, Kim. Over to you.
Well, thanks, Phil. Really, I enjoy that. I don't even know how to follow that up now. Boy, the emails I'm gonna get after this show. Oh dear. Anyway, a shout out to our shatters, which I assume are probably bots, all except for Sarah. That would be Avocado Badado, Commander Root, Energy Z-Bot, Positivity Bot, Tide, I think, Land Fusion, and Electrical Longboard. But last but not least, the one person that's not a bot, which would be RCGC. Hi, Sarah. So thanks for coming along. You know, you're the reason we do this thing. Well, you and the people that will eventually watch this or listen to it or, you know, whatever. And a shout out to you guys because it's always fun with or without booze. So, I guess that's it for me. So how about you there, Tank Top?
Well, one, we know all the shatters are not bots. Even though we know Sarah is real, we also know other people are real. So fear not.
Yes,
don't
this
think they're
time.
all bots.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
this time.
This time. Yeah.
Yes. I also agree with Phil.
See, if I was going
whiskey.
to send a speak pipe in, Greg.
Yeah.
I've got a really good idea for a speak pipe. It would be just quickly. I'm going to go around just really quickly. Kim, what have you named your horse in Red Dead Redemption?
Well, the first one I had that I lost,
Quickly.
I named Sport. I haven't named my other horse, so
Okay,
it's no
very
name.
good. Greg, what have you named your horse in Red Dead Redemption?
Feckin' whiskey.
And Phil, what have you named your horse in Red Dead Redemption?
Boss Hog.
And I haven't named
Nice.
my horse, and Nicole hasn't done it. But if I had an idea for a speak pipe, that's the question that I would ask. But it's not really a very, very good question, so I'll not bother sending it in because it's crap. So, but if anybody had sent a speak pipe in, it might have been that. Yeah,
It might have been that.
So
yeah.
Go back to the drawing board. Think of another speak pipe, and we maybe play it someday. You might be
Right.
kind enough, we actually invite you on the show.
He's gonna hate us all.
Wow.
So I want to shout out to Mark Annex. Sorry that you're not on the show. We miss you. And
I'm sure he's
all the
gonna believe
guys
that
here,
now.
I want to shout out Phil's new computer and his webcam. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Robin.
Yeah. So
Phil is apparently now me, so there we go, and I'm now
I
Phil.
just love Giggly Kim. I love my feckin' whiskey.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks for having us on. Thanks for doing the show. Sorry we're a bit rocky at the beginning. I think it was the rocky is, again, it was, like, sometimes the internet's one of those things. Phil's connection dropped through the cameras a bit. The other thing that was tonight was it was like a public service thing that I'm doing tonight. So I've been trying to give one of your ears a rest from listening to me.
Right.
And really, it was done on purpose, just to save your ear. And next time I'm on, I'll do the other ear. So
No. Truth be told, Robin, this is just a public service hearing test,
Yes.
straight up.
Yeah.
It's the left ear, right ear hearing test. If you're hearing us in your right ear, you're perfectly fine.
Uh-huh.
If you're not hearing us in your left ear, you should seek hospital attention.
What about the final
immediately.
front ear?
Oh my God,
Well,
you
there's
guys!
that.
I'm gonna eat the computer.
Anyway, I'm done. See you all next
All
time,
right.
guys.
Wait. Shout out to Phil. By the way, Phil, what made you think a camera in the keyboard was a good idea? I'm just saying.
I've got 2 cameras. Just leave me alone.
I don't believe you.
Just leave me alone.
All right, we're done. That's it. Robin, play some music. Let's get out of here.
Okay, music time.
Yeah, let's go.
Please.
Hello, my fellow podcast family.
That's not it.
Just keep digging that hole.
Thank you for listening to
my
the
God.
Overseas Connection podcast. See you same time next week.
Great shoe, everybody.